Good morning, everyone. John Kelly with John Kelly Fitness. And before we get started today, I would like to tell everybody that you can find the full videos that I do on my YouTube channel, John Kelly Fitness. If you subscribe there, you'll get an alert every time that I do a new video. Been getting a lot of complaints, well, not complaints, but people telling me that the videos are cutting off after 1 minute on Instagram. If you go into my bio, I have a link to each video that day, so that you can just click that and go straight to the video. So now on to today's subject, which is sleep. Yesterday we talked about the hierarchy of health, and we started with nutrition because we spend 2/3 of our lives awake and 80 to 90% of that time outside of the gym. So nutrition is the foundation that we build our hierarchy of health on. The next pillar is going to be sleep. We spend the next 1/3 of our lives sleeping if we're getting our 8 hours a night. I don't know if you noticed yesterday, but my video was a little disjointed. My mind wasn't as sharp as it usually is, and that's because I had poor sleep. So it's funny that we wanted to talk about that today, because I noticed that I was really slow getting my thoughts put together yesterday, and I didn't get great sleep. I even had to take a nap during the day, and what I thought was going to be a short half-hour nap turned out to be a 2.5-hour nap. So I guess I was really sleep deprived. When you talk about sleep, sleep encompasses a lot of health functions that many of us are not aware of. I know myself, I wasn't aware of any of this stuff until I started doing research, because when I was a firefighter, I would get very disjointed sleep, and I could tell in my performance when I was fighting and training that I wasn't sharp at all, but I would just push through it. And after a while, you begin to notice effects of aging. You begin to get more wrinkles. You begin to get more gray hairs. You're not able to deal with stress as well. And those are outside symptoms of inside malfunctions. So I looked up some studies on sleep, and if you just are 2 hours sleep deprived, you are going to become insulin resistant, like a pre-diabetic. So if you are adding days of sleep deprivation to each other and poor eating habits, you are on the road to becoming a diabetic, which leads to a whole bunch of systemic diseases that are totally preventable. Heart disease, high blood pressure, you name it, and diabetes will lead you there. And it's totally preventable through nutrition and sleep. Another study followed people that slept less than 6 hours a night for 14 years, and they were twice as likely to develop heart disease. 2 times as likely to develop heart disease. So if you're one of those people getting 6 hours of sleep, think about that. Think about diabetes. Think about heart disease. And you can change your sleep. Another one showed that when you sleep, you remove a protein called amyloid beta, which builds up in your brain. This protein has been shown in Alzheimer's patients to be in large quantities in the brain. So it's not a direct correlation, but it definitely shows that if you want to avoid brain disease, you need to get more sleep. Sleep for your body, it improves your immune functions. A couple hours of sleep deprivation will lead to more colds, more inflammation. Sleep is where you recover from your training. You recover from the day. Protein synthesis happens when you sleep. Growth hormone is released when you sleep. Cellular repair happens when you sleep. Some studies show that adults are 55% more likely to be obese if they're sleep deprived. And kids, this is important for you parents, kids are 90% more likely to be obese if they don't get enough sleep. Adults need 7 to 8 hours of sleep. Teenagers need about 9 hours of sleep, 8 to 9 hours of sleep. Infants need 16 hours of sleep, and young children probably need something in between that, like 9 to 10 hours. So make a bedtime for yourself and your children. Because if you tell your kids to go to sleep, but you stay up messing around on your iPad or watching television or on the computer, they're going to resent you. They're not going to want to do it. Kids do what you do. They don't do what you tell them to do. They do what you do. So if you want to set a good example for your kids and you want your kids to be healthy and you want to be healthy, set a bedtime. When I was little, I didn't have a bedtime. My parents let me go to sleep whenever I wanted. I thought it was really cool. But now growing up, I realize I might have been a better student. I might have been a better athlete if my parents had imposed a bedtime on me. And they didn't know any better themselves. They're not trying to screw me over, but it ended up being one of those things that I wanted to improve upon as a parent and make sure my kids had a bedtime so that they could reap the benefits of good sleep. It also is fundamental for your brain, like I talked about yesterday, cognitive function. When you sleep is the time that you reorganize your memories. You create new synapses. So if you needed to remember something important during the day, if you're studying for a test, you need a lot of sleep. Everybody thinks, oh, let me cram. And then you don't get a good grade. Well, you didn't get a good enough sleep. If you just study a little bit and you sleep a lot, you'll probably remember what you studied. Your sleep is the time when your brain removes waste. Your brain cells actually shrink up to 60% when you sleep. And your cerebral spinal fluid, which is the liquid layer around your brain, flushes out the waste. You don't have a lymphatic system in your brain. It's in your body. That's how you get rid of waste. You don't have one in your brain, so your spinal fluid has to filter out all the waste, all the cellular waste, and allow you to reorganize, sort of like a computer defragmenting. Your brain is, the ultimate organic computer. So you have to give it time to reboot. You have to give it time to reorganize itself. Your memory, your learning, all those things come into play when you sleep. So if you're trying to learn a clean and jerk, you're trying to learn a snatch, you're trying to get better at your training, you need your sleep, not only for the physical benefits, but the mental benefits. If you're an athlete, you need a good amount of sleep before a competition. Although I know it's hard because I've done a lot of competitions before in my life, and you have a lot of anxiety before it because you want to perform well. But you have to realize that sleep is fundamental to any kind of progress that you're trying to make, whether it's mental or physical, and it's fundamental to your health. So I just wanted to give you guys a couple reasons on why sleep is very important to your health. And in another video, because this one's getting kind of long, we'll go over tips to improving your sleep. So I hope you guys have a great night's sleep tonight. And if you have any questions, please comment down below. Like, share, subscribe. It'll help me out. It'll help me build the following. It'll help me help you. So I'll see you guys tomorrow. Have a good day.